welcome to the Fix Your Face Podcast with TSM and Jamie the Makeup Nurse. Remember, folks, positive vibes only. This podcast is about education, responsibility, growth, and of course, awareness. Now, everybody strap on your seatbelts and let's tap in.
Hi, Jamie. How are you? Thanks for coming in. We'll wait for TSM to come. I'm good. Thank you, Jamie. It's been a crazy weekend, but good. Did you get to hang out with your grandson this weekend? Hi, Mimi. Thanks for coming in. How are you doing today? Oh, you're flying back on the 7th. Oh, I hope they can, Jamie. I know you've been dealing with a lot with that. That's kind of crazy that no one will touch it. I'm good, Mimi. Thanks. Hi, Carter. Thanks for coming in. I'm exhausted too. It's been quite exhausting for me lately. But it keeps me going. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Ken. Thanks for coming in. As Ken says, welcome all. Tap in with the makeup nurse. Yes. I hope everyone's having a great weekend. Oh, yeah, no kidding. With the airfare prices now, too, Jamie. I don't blame you there. Well, welcome to the Fix Your Face podcast with host TSM and Jamie the Makeup Nurse. Remember, positive vibes only. Now let's tap in. And this podcast is rated E for everyone. And so let's keep it clean. And thank you to Billard's Headphones for sponsoring tonight's podcast. All right. We'll give the other host another minute. Sorry about that. I booted myself out. Okay, I'm going to drop the link down again in case it got buried. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you're doing well, Crystal. Very good. All right, it's exactly at 7, so hopefully TSM will come in. While we're waiting on TSM, the famous question of the night: what did everyone eat tonight? I had pizza rolls and some cheese sticks. Hey, Ken. Hi, Chifa. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Yes, thank you, Jamie. And whenever you're available, just let me know. That would be so helpful. Ken had pork loin, rice, and corn. Well, the pork loin and rice is good, Ken, but nope, no corn for me. Crystal had 2 McDoubles and a drink. Oh, you haven't eaten yet, Mimi. You need to eat. It's getting late. Ken, can you text TSM just to make sure he knows? Okay, so tonight's topic is going to be burning bridges, because I've been in a lot of situations. Oh, you had a combination Totino's pizza. Huh, that sounds yummy, Jamie. I've been in a lot of situations in my career that, um, I didn't want to burn bridges, and there's been many times where I wanted to just like leave, like be pretty much like forget you and I'm out of here. But and I'm like, I'll never see these people again or whatever. But you'd be surprised how small the world is. And I'm so glad I have not burned any of those bridges. Gifo had some spaghetti and baked chicken wings for a meal of the day, and it'll be for dinner too. Oh, wow. That sounds so good. I love spaghetti. But there was this time I was at a hospital, and they were awful, and I left, and you'd be surprised. I always try to stay on good terms no matter what, and I always leave on good terms. But and even though I think that I'll never see them again, it it's a small world out there, you guys. So do not burn bridges. Even if you are mad or upset about things, just give your notice. Don't ever just, I mean, there's many times I wanted to just walk out on the job, but you don't ever want to get that do not rehire on you. And if you just walk out with notice without any notice, um you could get a do not rehire. And this one time I was at a hospital too where the CNO that I worked for really liked me, and she left and went to a different hospital. Oh, I think there he is. Hey, TSM, how are
Yo,
you?
yo, I'm doing good. Y'all apologize. I'm late. Give me a little bit. I'm still catching up.
I can't hear you. Are you on mute? Or is that my phone? Hold on. Okay, now talk. How you doing, TSM? I think you're muted now. Paprika James, thanks for coming in. We were just talking a little bit about the what did you eat tonight, TSM? We can't hear you, TSM. You're, I think you're still muted. Oh, okay. Sorry, Gfo. I didn't hear him say that. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Gfo. All right. Jamie says, I know exactly what you mean, but mine is with my doctors. They are so awful to me, but the next place I go is 45 minutes, so I don't flip on them in case I need a doctor and can't find one soon enough. Yes, Jamie, I didn't even think about it like just from that as a patient standpoint too. I was thinking about it as more of um, on the like employee side of things, but that's a good point too. You don't want to tick off your doctors either. you, the two professions that they always say you don't want to tick off is your mechanic or your doctor. Paprika had beefaroni, and James had eating some wings and fries right now. Yum. But yeah, so yeah, so anyway, I was at the hospital, and the CNO that liked me moved over into another hospital. Well, I was trying to get a job at the hospital I was at, and my boss kind of blackballed me to where I couldn't get um I ended up not getting the job because of it. And so anyway, I applied over where she was, and it and she hired me because she really did like me and thought I did a good job. So yeah, you don't want, but even though they did that to me at that hospital, I did not want to burn any bridges, because yeah, it's not good to burn any bridges. And so I'm so thankful, because one of the hospitals that I worked at in Georgia, my boss was not very good boss, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave on good terms. And thankfully I did, because one of the people that are in charge of hiring, I may be able to go back and work at one of the hospitals um, as an interim, because she really did like me. So it always goes full circle. Ken says I got booted out of an ortho doctor's office for demanding answers. Yes, Ken. Yes, you did. And then he dropped him and referred him to another ortho. So now he's like almost starting fresh on his hip because of that. It's like, oh my goodness. But Ken is the type of person that can't hold back and keep his tongue, hold his tongue. So yeah, but you definitely don't want to burn any bridges in your life, because you never know what's going to happen later down the road in the future.
Yo, so what are we discussing right now, Jamie?
We're talking about why not to burn bridges, and I was talking about how at certain hospitals, even though I had a bad experience, I still needed to leave on good terms, and I'd say, "Forget you, I'm out of here," because you never know what's going to happen. And later, and ironically, later down the road, it came full circle where I met people, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I never thought I would see this person ever again," and yet here I'm working with them or whatever. So it's so important not to burn any bridges.
Oh yeah, I agree. I actually, something like that happened to me before, but it was like, in the opposite way. Like I think it was even here, like the social platform, um, where I was doing some helping somebody out, grow their channel and etc. Sure as enough, they burned their bridges with me, and it's like, yo, their channel got removed and from YouTube, and they had to start over. So it's like, as soon as that happened, they kind of reached out to me, and I'm like, yo, I'm the last person that would tell you no, but no, because you burnt your bridges. So you never know when you're gonna need somebody.
Exactly. And Ken says, jobs and keeping a good rapport. Yes, I always try to have a good rapport with everyone, even if I'm not happy, because you never know what you're going to need from someone later down in the future. And I'm so thankful that I've always pretty much kept a good rapport with everyone, even in bad situations, uh, just because I know how to um, hold back and bite my tongue sometimes, where it can, not so much. Ken Ken does not have a filter.
Hey, yo, look, I'm telling you, listen, yo, when me and somebody used to have to link up and go outside to do different things and etc. For instance, like the video where where the guy stole Mariah's phone. yo, when we have to handle situations like that, yo, I'm the first person like, yo, let's try to talk this out and see what could happen. And I'm trying to be like, yo, I want to. And she's like, that person is just like, she's not gonna hold back. It's gonna be cuss words. She might throw a chair at you. Whatever, whatever she might need to do to get her point across. So yeah, man, I understand that one.
Jamie says he's the only one who fills the pumps in the 30-mile radius, but both him and his nurse were so rude, made me cry, and it takes a lot to make me cry. But I'm still waiting for new places to accept me, so I haven't spoke my mind to them. Oh my goodness, yeah, I'm so sorry, Jamie, but you know what? Eventually you'll be able to go somewhere else, and then you can write them a scathing letter and give them a horrible review. Ken says, I have a great filter for me, just not others. Exactly, Ken. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, Jamie, that right there, I'm not even gonna lie. You gave her some key information. Those reviews, that really determines that determines a lot. Like I legitimately seen people lose out on business just because a customer read a review. Like, and once you get this, like if you get so many reviews and they all saying the same thing, that can really impact your business. Or like in her instance, it can help her as well. But yeah, leaving those reviews actually help. It's helped grow my website. So yeah, definitely look into that. The second Jamie, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna call you because this is gonna be like awkward calling you Jamie and then calling you my co-host Jamie. So y'all got me twisted now just thinking about it. I'm gonna just call you JJ. I don't know until I think of something.
You,
Y'all,
you,
hey, it
you
can't
can
be two Jamies in here. I'm already dealing with this slim wad, slim shell thing, and it's like, yo, come on, God.
you're gonna call her what? Did you say TSM JJ?
JJ.
Yeah. You got a new nickname, Jamie. Yeah, it's so funny because, like I said on another podcast before, I don't really come into contact with too many Jamies anymore, and it's so funny how uh, uh, and you even spelled your name the same way as I do, Jamie. So that's even cooler. Jamie says he has it on my file that the only appointments they'll make is to fill my pump, which tells me he wants the $1,500 to fill the pump, but doesn't want to deal with my problem. His nurse hung up on me when I said that. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Jamie.
Hey, yo, them customer service, yo, those folks can be so freaking rude. Yo, this lady I called I sent a package to somebody and they called me like, yo, you need to have the sender to send, call up here with the information, etc. So they kind of like ambu her. So I called them I'm like, yo, lady, I'm calling about my package. And she's like, yo, I don't see your package. Like she said it's something like that. I'm like, yo, can I speak to somebody that's over you? And she's like, she literally asked me like, for what? Like, yo, whatever the customer asks you, to do pretty much, like if they ask you to speak with somebody that's over you, you're supposed to legally just to redirect them to somebody over you. You're not supposed to question them about anything. So that was just like one of the rudest things. And I'm like, yo, I thought as the world progressed, people in the world would get a little bit better, especially with the jobs and etc. But there are unprofessional people in these job fields. I've been telling people, yo, if you don't have the personality for the job description, just don't even do it because you can make somebody else's day a little bit worse. And, bad days turn into other things.
Well, Jamie says the nurse said he won't and hung up on me, and I didn't even get nasty to her. Oh my goodness, that is just awful. I'm so sorry. Healthcare has gotten so much worse. I don't know. Ken says the separation between personal and business is hard, but be an adult and figure it out. Yes, and you know, yeah, you are right, Ken. You got to be an adult and figure it out. But there's so many people that are can be so nasty and not want to help, especially in healthcare, which is so sad. And Jamie is a nurse, so she knows that it's like really you're kind of like the fellow person, right? And you're not even going to help a fellow nurse. It's like, come on. I mean, everybody should get help, but yeah,
So,
that's so sad.
you say just be an adult, right? And see, this is the thing too, Ken. I always say that same thing, right? And then after I say it and then I think about what I said, it's like it dwells on me like majority of sometimes the majority of these adults are more immature than a lot of these children. So it's like, at some point you have to like have a developed adult brain, because a lot of us we have the developed adult brain, but we have these minor childish thoughts at times, and we all do it sometimes. But it's like, in a certain situation, you have to learn how to control that. You have to bring your adult personnel out. There is no time for no kid games when it comes to business.
Oh, absolutely. Jamie says the sad thing is doctors are so worried about lawsuits. He puts the pump in and takes them out, but he won't do mine. I get it to a point. Yeah, that's the bad thing too, Jamie, is that they're all worried about these lawsuits, or having a lawsuit, but it comes to a point you got to take care of the patient. Come on now. But yeah, yeah, and I don't know. I don't know. So many places I've been to, it's like, why are people acting like high school kids? It's like, come on, we're not in high school anymore. Like there's so much drama in some places that I go to that and that's one of the, like I told you, I've said in the past, that's why I do interim work versus finding a permanent job, because I can't deal with all the drama and the politics in the hospitals anymore. I like to go in, be neutral, and not even have to worry about it, any of the drama, and just do my job, and out the door I go in a few months.
Hey, Jamie, I hate to discuss personal business on the podcast. I'm gonna have someone to send Ken Jimmy's number. He's texting now, asking about you. I need you to either have Ken to text on your behalf or text him as soon as the podcast over with.
Okay, sounds good. Jamie says, but I shouldn't have to be in pain when he can help. He knew the challenges when he decided to take this career. Yes, that's so true. And I knew as a nurse anything can happen, but didn't stop me being a nurse. Yes, you are absolutely right. There's risks involved, right? In everything you do, in any profession or any thing that you do, you got to look at the risks. And that's what I always did. Like if I was going to leave a new job or go into a new, when I got into quality or whatever, I always looked at all my risks and the benefits. I did the pros and cons list and all that stuff. And so it's like, you got to do it. I mean, you got to pick, either do it or you don't. Come on, either be a doctor or don't. Jamie, don't get paid, but
Marianne says for both Jamies, what is the most difficult part of being a nurse or being in the medical field?
the most difficult thing in the for me as a nurse, being a nurse, was just when I took care of patients at the bedside. The most difficult thing for me was being able to keep up, because I always wanted to take care of my patients like the best I could, and I really cared, and I wanted to do everything for my patients. But sometimes you just had a full load, and I couldn't take care of them sometimes like how I would want to. I couldn't spend as much time with them. Some patients just wanted to talk, and that's what they needed. But when you're like being pulled in a million different directions, it's hard. Now, on this side of nursing, the hardest thing about my job is that I have all the authority, or I have all the responsibility of the entire hospital, but no authority, and it's very hard sometimes to actually make changes because I have no authority.
Dean Omar says in highlighted letters, OMG, Jamie, you are so true. I am one of those patients that just has to talk. Could you explain a little bit about that?
I really enjoy talk with my patients, because sometimes, like I said, that's what they need, and but when we're getting pulled in so many different directions, we're very limited on what we can do for like how much time we can really spend with our patients. And especially, like, even though patients need that personal side, it's so hard to when we have all these other tasks to do. So we can't spend as much time talking, if that makes sense. But yes, I always try to at least try to make time to listen to patients and have a little bit of a conversation here and there
Do,
throughout
do
the
you
day.
do you all have a boundary when it comes to stuff like that? Like talking to patients, is there do's and don'ts? How much you think I know?
No, not really. It's just, if you have the time, great. If not, you be respectful. Well, hopefully they be respectful to the patient. Be like, okay, I'll come back. It was nice talking with you, or whatever. I mean, there's not really any boundaries. I mean, obviously, you know, um, is depending on what you're talking about. But if you're talking about their medical care, and if they want to vent to you about their life or something, that's a different. I always let them just vent as well, because a lot of my patients, when I took care of them, they like to talk about their family and themselves, and so I sat there and listened, and talked with them. Jamie says, seeing the neglect from other staff, something as simple as feeding a patient, they didn't want to take the time. Yes. Um, and that's the sad part, is like we're like so many people are like on the go, like go 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 all the time, that they don't sit there and realize the extra um, time that they should help be there with the patient, to even just feed them, or bathe them, or whatever they needed to, whatever needs to be done, even walking the patient or whatever, because patients need to move, otherwise they can get complications if they're just sitting in bed and not doing anything. So even as simple as walking them, they should be doing that.
So give me a number, Jamie. How well do you think and I would just say in general, how well are patients taken care of? Just like a total. Like out of the, let's just say it's 100 patients. Out of those 100 patients, is there like a 50%, a 60%? How well are those, and how many of those patients gonna get like the total care that they absolutely need until it's over?
Well, hopefully they're getting their total care. And I mean, that's kind of a trick question, because they should get the total care, but how personable it is a different story. And that's why hospitals send out the patient satisfaction surveys, because um, because people do lose sight of that personal effect. Ken says, the makeup nurse, what is a good day in ICU? Good day in ICU is keeping that patient alive, really. I mean, because if they're in ICU, they're pretty critical. And in ICU, they're usually got maybe one nurse has maybe two patients at the most, because that's how critical they are. But in ICU, you don't. There's most of the time, maybe about, if I had to guess, like 70-80% of the time, patients in ICU aren't going to be talking. They're probably going to be intubated, or they're more critical, so they're not going to probably be as talking. Now the family members might be there, especially since the pandemic is slowly like coming to an end. Visitors are being more allowed to come in. The family plays a big part, especially in ICU, because they're the ones that can kind of help um, tell people, or tell the nursing and the nurses and doctors and stuff, a little bit about the patient, so they can take care of them, because obviously they might not be able to do as much, because they're very critical. Hi Ashley, thanks for coming in.
Much respect, Ashley. Thanks for coming through.
So the family is very critical in a patient's care. as long as they're not being I mean, there's some family members that can kind of get overbearing and stuff that makes it worse for the nursing staff and so forth. But um yeah, sometimes they can be overbearing. I'll leave it at that. Ashley says, is it easier to treat babies or elderly? Well, you know what? I only took care of babies, like maybe a couple babies, because I wasn't really that big into the babies. I'd rather take care of the elderly. One, because um, they can tell you their symptoms and all that, whereas a baby, you got to try to figure out why they're crying or what's going on and stuff. So I was much more of a older. I'd rather take care of the geriatrics versus the pediatrics. Jamie says, "Here's some."
Whoa. Hold on. You are a nurse. You are in that field, man. What does those words mean? Because I just heard a bunch of big science words. I don't. That could be a rocket ship. All I know.
Okay, geriatrics is the older people. Pediatrics is the kids.
Wow, I learned something new today.
Sorry, I forget sometimes that the words just come out of my mouth. Jamie says, here's something. When I was only a CNA before I was a nurse, a patient came back from the hospital with and put foot cream on the foot, common sense, wash before reapplying. Well, they didn't. I went to care for her and she had maggots. Oh my goodness. See, I mean, it's just sometimes awful. Yeah, babies are the most vulnerable, and the elderly are tend to be the most critical. And elderly can be very vulnerable too because they're older now and stuff. So yes, that's so true, G-Full. Yeah, I mean, but there are nurses that would rather take care of the kids or the babies. Obviously, that's why they're there, right? I was just not one of them. I worked on the cardiac unit. I like taking care of the heart and stroke patients. And that's mainly what I did was heart and strokes when I worked at the bedside. What makes you happy being a nurse? Taking care of patients. I really like trying to make a difference, and that's why I kind of went into the quality side of healthcare because um, I feel like I wanted to make changes in healthcare in itself, so our patients are safe and everything. Because a lot of errors happen in the hospitals, and my job is to hopefully prevent some of those errors. And so that's why I love being on the quality side, is because I feel like I'm making a difference, not just for that one patient that I took care of, but for the whole, like all of our patients that come into the hospital.
Yeah,
That
I'm on that belt with you because a lot of people I get questions, not similar to the question that you've been asked, but and my answers be similar to yours. It's like, yo, because I want to help people, even if it's just like growing somebody's channel on YouTube. And if I do all this on YouTube, imagine all the help I try to do in personal life. But anyways, yo, people don't believe that it's people out there that actually, receive like a happy feeling or even feel like they've done something. When you help other people, people feel like when you help other people, it's just giving, not knowing that that's something that you enjoy doing. So it's actually people out here that loves to help others.
Yeah, yes, GFO. That's why it's called Pedialyte or Pediasure, because of they're for the pediatrics, meaning the kids. So that's where that came from. Yes, you are correct. Ken says, I love the experience of the elderly, life stories, and through their wisdom. Um, and that is so true. I loved hearing their stories. So yes, Gfo, yes. Okay. All right. TSM. I'm gonna do the Dilbert, and then if you could say the game time. All right. Dilbert says, I've decided to give up my private office and work from a cubicle so employees will respect me more. My cubicle will be 1,000 square feet with the ceiling. That's called an office. Nothing pleases you. Come on, folks. Okay. TSM, are you ready for game time?
Yo, it's game time with TSM and Jamie, the makeup nurse. Let's get it.
All right, thank you for that. All right, you guys, and Jeeple's in the building, so we got All right, this rocker starred in a televised 1968 comeback special. Yes, Ashley, it's game time. Yep, I can't do it like um TSM. Nope, not John Travolta. But that's why I have TSM, right?
John Travolta, Ashley. Was that one of your little comedian jokes?
This rocker starred in a televised 1968 comeback special.
Rocker as a rock and roll star?
Yeah,
Was it Ozzy Osbourne?
nope. Ken said Ozzy Osbourne just like right when you said it. Nope, not Ozzy. This rocker starred in a televised 1968 comeback special.
I don't know, Ashley. That's what I'm saying. I don't know too many rock stars like that.
Yes, Elvis Presley, Ken. Very good. Jamie
Oh,
says
wow.
we're going to need a song from TSM when we collab for the Makeup Nurses times 2. Jamie's. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, speaking of Jamie, I did your, as I promised. I got your intro ready. I'm gonna send it to you after you have that conversation with our partner in crime.
Oh, okay. And you said you sent the number to Ken?
Shlomo should send it, or she should be sending it.
Okay. On Fantasy Island, what phrase does tattoo repeat in the title sequence? On Fantasy Island, what phrase does tattoo repeat in the title sequence? The plane. Yes, very good, Ken. How did you know that? Yes, Jamie. Oh my goodness, you guys are so smart. All right. In 2001, A Space Odyssey, in 2001, A Space Odyssey, what is the name of the computer?
Wait. Repeat that question, Jamie.
In 2001, A Space Odyssey, what is the name of the computer? Jeepo, the plane, something, the plane. In 2001, A Space Odyssey, what is the name of the computer? Again, they're tough questions. I can't help it. All right. The answer was HAL, HAL, HAL. Uh, okay, next question. This pioneering comedian rose. Oh my goodness, hold on. This pioneering comedian rose to fame in the 1960s for his open, freestyle, and critical form of comedy and was convicted in a 1964 obscenity trial. Oh my gosh, I can't talk.
Dang it, Jamie, you have me up until the point where you mentioned the trial. I got lost there. Oh my God, I think I'm with it. Jesus.
This This pioneering comedian rose to fame in the 1960s for his open, freestyle, and critical form of comedy and was convicted in a 1964 obscenity trial. Brendan High. Oh, not
Oh
Pee
wow.
Wee. Not George Carlin. The answer was Lenny Bruce. Lenny Bruce.
I don't think nobody was gonna guess it.
That's why I gave it. It's the scandal that led to Nixon's downfall. Ooh, any history buffs here? It's the scandal that led to Nixon's downfall. Oh, HAL 9000 is a fictional computer. Ah, got it, Deeful.
Oh, I remember. Yo, I remember that. I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Yes, Ken, Watergate. You are correct. Watergate. All right. The Archies had a hit in 1969 with this bubblegum classic. The Archies had a hit in 1969 with.
Yo, was the bubble gum called like bazooka?
Um, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's why I stay quiet during these questions.
No, you can answer them. The Archies had a hit in not Bubblicious, Gfo. The Archies had a hit in 1969 with this bubblegum classic. So I think it's when it says classic, I think it's I don't think it's the name of the gum.
Okay, so is it the name of a song or a movie or?
I think it's the name of a song. Ooh, not Hubba Bubba. You got one question right, Jamie. Don't worry. These are hard. The answer is Sugar Sugar. I don't know. Is that a song? I don't think it's the name of. It's Sugar Sugar.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's that. I don't know if you probably never heard of it. But it's like sugar, sugar. You ain't never heard of that. You are my candy girl. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like on so many movies.
Oh, okay then. All right. What creepy kooky TV series lasted only 2 seasons?
Wait a minute. That almost sounds like a riddle. What creepy? You said cookie?
What creepy kooky TV series lasted only 2 seasons? Ooh, not Monsters. You're close, Jamie. Addams Family. Yes, Ken. Yes, very good. After 57 tours with the USO, what celebrated entertainer was declared an honorary veteran? What Ken said. Jamie. After 57 tours with the USO, what celebrated entertainer was declared an honorary vet? Yes, Chipo. I'm not going to say that because, yeah, TSM will be like, Jamie, you're supposed to sing it. And I'm like, yeah, no. Oh, not Chuck Yeager, not McCartney. The answer is Bob Hope. Bob Hope. Granddaughter of a notable publisher, she was convicted of and later pardoned for crimes she committed on behalf of a terrorist group that kidnapped her. Oh, Ken's in the lead. Are you keeping track, Ashley? Granddaughter of a notable publisher, she was convicted of and later pardoned for crimes she committed on behalf of a terrorist group that kidnapped her. That was Patty Hearst. Patty Hearst. Okay. Which comedy group released a 1975 film about the Holy Grail? Oh, you saw that movie too, Jamie? Which comedy group released a 1975 film about the Holy Grail? Oh, don't feel stupid, Ashley. These are hard. I wouldn't know any of these either. Not SNL. Any other guesses? It's Monty Python. Monty Python. Okay. What actress stars in the 1970 film Cabaret? What actress stars in the 1972 film Cabaret? Not Sally Struthers. The answer is Liza Minnelli. He released the album Touching You, Touching Me in 1969. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Yes, don't forget to give our amazing host a thumbs up. Thank you so much. He released the album Touching You, Touching Me in 1969. Gifo says, Red Fox always had talked about the cabaret in the Sanford and Son too. He would sing it all the time. Ken Yeager. No. The answer was Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond. I can't, Ashley. I mean, I can do like the most I do is like highlights or like a regular, like just regular colors. I can't do, I couldn't do any of the like off colors because um of my job. Whose good-natured but naive antics are the constant annoyance of Gunnery Sergeant Vince Carter?
Yeah. So actually, this month I say maybe I don't know. This month I'm gonna see. Before this month over, what I'm gonna go with the blue, and I say probably the next 2 months after that I'm gonna do like a pink. Um, the breast cancer thing, the whole breast cancer thing. So I'm just gonna do the pink, and it's gonna be a part of this whole big sponsor and everything. So it's gonna be pretty cool.
Hi, Slim One. Thanks for coming in. Um, it pink breast cancer is in October, just so you know. If you wanted to do like breast cancer awareness and pink for October. Hi, Slim Wad. Thanks for coming in. Who's good?
Yeah, reobliterate that information for me, Jamie. I couldn't hear you due to like 10 boys in here screaming.
I said breast cancer awareness is in October, so if you want to do like the breast cancer awareness color, that's in October.
Thank you for that info.
You're welcome. Jifa says he often would sing that song on the Sanford and Son when he had been drinking or drunk or something, though. All right, what was this question? What good-natured but naive antics are the constant annoyance of Gunnery Sergeant Vince Carter?
It's gonna be funny though, cause I know I'm gonna be in for some laughs. I mean, cause I'm gonna have a good time hearing what a lot of people are gonna say because, like I said, I already get people saying things now, and my hair is like a orangish red. So if people are already saying stuff about that now, I just know I can only imagine what they're gonna be saying when I do color it pink. But it's gonna be funny for me, so I'm gonna have some things to laugh about because I don't get upset when people say stuff about me. I laugh with them because it's like, yo, it's funny. It's like actually funny. So I'm gonna have a good time. I can't wait to see the results of this.
Well, February is heart awareness, so it's red. So that's good that you did red. I forget what March is. I would have to look it up. Okay, the answer to that question was Gomer Pyle. What type of animal was the first in space in 1957? Oh my gosh, an animal went to space? I didn't know that. What type of animal was the first in space in 1957?
It was like a monkey. If not a monkey, it was a dog.
Yes, it was a dog. Yes, you are correct. You and Ken, yes. What major league team did Jackie Robinson join in 1947?
Yeah. Was it the Mets?
Nope, not the Mets.
Was it the White Sox?
Nope. I don't know what a dog did up in space, people. Bark, maybe? Ooh, not no, not the Yankees, Ken. You guys are close. It's in that area. The team with the red bird.
Listen,
Um,
you have the dialogue of a 3-year-old. That was so cute. It was funny. The team with the red bird. That's how my son is telling me stuff. He's like, "Yo, Daddy, could you pick me the team with the red birds?"
I don't think it's the team with the red bird. Isn't that uh the Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals? Nope, I don't think it is. Nope, not the Reds. The answer is the Brooklyn Dodgers. The Brooklyn Dodgers. Maude and the Jeffersons are spin-offs of what TV sitcom? Maude and the Jeffersons are spin-offs of what TV sitcom? Chiefo says if the dog wasn't barking, then what was it smelling up there in space for anyway? Yes. No, not the Golden Girls. All in the Family. Yes, Chiefo. Yes. This British group released the single Honky Tonk Woman. This British group released the single Honky Tonk Women. The British group released the single Honky Tonk Women. I'm not singing it for you, Ken.
Yo, Ken, you gotta sing that thing for him, Jamie.
Mm-mm. Like I told you, it took 15 years before I could even sing in front of Ken.
Jeremy, you just do not like singing for nothing, do you?
Because I can't. I'm telling you, I sound
Okay,
like,
do you sing the little nursery rhymes with Bentley them sometimes? At least the, Dingo and um, Mary had a little lamb. Do you play sing like?
yeah, I'll sing to my kids or my grandkids, but that's it.
All right, I'm going to show my face. Pretend I'm Bentley.
No, 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 no.
Your
All right.
reactions are priceless.
Yes, you are right, G-Fo. There was a song that did the honky tonk or badonka donk. Yes, it was badonka donk. Okay, it was the Rolling Stones who did that. The Rolling Stones. All right. Which iconic Soviet leader died in 1953? Yeah, you'll never get me to sing on this podcast, TSM.
Yes, not me, but we have one guy that's connected to this podcast that might be able to convince you. His name is Ken Yeager.
Oh, heck no.
Oh,
No, that.
you can say no now, but us males, we have this special foot that we can put down once needed. You probably never saw that foot because Ken probably never had to show it to you. But we have this one foot, and it's like, dude, go ahead and get it out the way.
Nope.
You
Oh,
know what?
yeah.
Let's put it like this. Let's put it like this. There's gonna be something that comes up. It's gonna be something that comes up, and it's gonna convince you. I'm not even gonna give you any clues, to give you any hints or anything like that. But you're telling yourself you are never gonna do that until. That's why you never should say never until certain situations come about. And there's gonna be a situation that take place, and you're gonna. It's gonna be. It's not gonna be. It's gonna have nothing to do with me. It's gonna totally be something that have to do with you and Ken, and you'll be convinced easily.
No. Okay. Joseph Stalin is correct, Ken. Yes, you are right. These small cylindrical hats were very popular in the early 60s. These small cylindrical hats were very popular in the early 60s. Like I told you, TSM, I sound worse than Phoebe does when she sang Smelly Cats on Friends.
Yeah, half of the music artists out today sound terrible. Worse than that. The thing is, they have these things called special effects, vocal effects. Uh, you know, so you wouldn't even notice, but yo, you know how terrible Beyonce sings?
Mm-mm.
You wouldn't know. You'll never know. But a lot of these people, for the most part, they sound terrible. All right. So yeah, don't feel bad if you think you sound terrible. Because hey, half of us music artists sounds completely like nothing without vocal effects.
Ken, tell
Not
TSM.
saying that we aren't good at what we do, but vocal effects make things so much better.
Ken, tell TSM how horrible I am. Okay, the answer was pillbox hats. I've never heard of that, but anyway. This playwright secured his reputation as one of the greats with a streetcar named Desire. This playwright secured his reputation as one of the greats with a streetcar named Desire. Really, Ken? You can put no comment? I'm telling you, it's okay. You can tell them how horrible I am. The answer to that was Tennessee Williams. Tennessee Williams. All right, the riddle of the night, you guys, is what bird is always out of breath? What bird is always out of breath? So you should have put, like, when you were asking for a new co-host, you should have had the requirement. Can you sing?
Oh my God, you are one hilarious lady.
G-Full says, I don't understand auto-tune. Why not they just put in the work with the real voice so that if the power goes out, they could still do it too? You know,
Yo, here's my take on that, G4. I was one of those guys. I was using auto tune like crazy, and it was like, yo, I'm gonna put my real voice out here. If they accept it, they accept it. If they don't, then they don't. But this is why I stopped, because every music artist is you. Every song that 90% of the songs that you're gonna hear today, as far as hip hop, it's gonna come on, and R&B too, is gonna be auto tune. And I just like found myself in that circle, and I looked around, and I'm like, yo, I am blended in with these people. So I stopped, and I'm like, I'm gonna use my real voice, and I liked it for myself. It really didn't matter what the outside opinions thought, but I liked it for myself. And my take on auto tune, as of right now in today's era, it's 90% of the culture is using it, and you're not going to be able to stand out using it. So I actually agree with
got it. All right. Any guesses on the riddle? What bird is always out of breath?
you. What word is always out of breath?
What bird is always out of breath?
Is it the hummingbird?
Nope. Any other guesses? The answer is a puffin. A puffin.
I should have guessed that. It's always a slick answer with you.
All right, TSM, do you have any last words for the cast?
Yes, of course. Yo, stay blessed. Stay humble. Definitely be yourself. Try to stick in with the community. If you want to take your love away from us, try to talk to a friend or foe at first, and make sure that somebody can talk you into keeping your love within the community. Much respect. Jamie, I'm gonna exit immediately and get that number sent to you. And afterwards, I want to talk to you about some designs, because the new designs we have, I think we only got like 2 or 3. So gonna try to get some of your pictures and see what kind of designs you want to work with. So until next time, I'll see y'all later.
Thank you very much. All right, you guys. Thank you for coming in and having a great cast and being interactive. It makes my job so much easier. I appreciate it. And remember, you're all beautiful inside and out. Don't let anyone make you think differently. And the quote of the night comes from Carrie Underwood. You can't win all the time. You got to have some downs to realize when you're up. Have a good night, everyone.